Good morning, everyone. You're trying out a new script, are you? Good morning, guys. I'm curious here about the frame rates and stuff. We've got some different settings. It's still very, very hot up here. I've gone in the innards here and set some different settings, and I hope it'll be smoother today. Everything's still very hot here, but let's see. So if you get any trouble, let me know and we'll try and figure things out. It's not so bad today. It's not as hot as it was yesterday. What are we at this morning here? It's 30, 32, whatever. Not so bad. It's the cool. It was pretty cool last night. So maybe it's getting better. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Okay. What we've got is basically a continuation of what we were doing yesterday, a sizing stream. And as we closed off the stream yesterday, I sort of apologized for this. We're going to have another stream that's basically the same. Nothing interesting going on. I'm sorry. But somebody asked me, what if I promised to do a bit of show and tell? That's a sort of a what do you call it? I don't know, a lure to keep you here. So what we're going to do, I've got 3 or 4 different variations of paper. So I've got one batch of paper that's got, 20 sheets in. So one batch that will take the first hour or so most of the time. And once that's done, let's do a bit of show and tell. This came in 2 days ago. It's a book, which we got. And what I should do is, just so that you've got something to do while you're waiting for me to get to that point, let me find, here we are. Here's a Wikimedia page. I'll punch this in. This is a Whoa, look at that URL. Whoa, anyway, there it is. It's a Wikimedia page of an image from this book, which we have here. We'll talk about this when we get to that. For me, as you know what I've got to do, I have got to get to work. I wasn't cooking size today. I'm using leftover glue from yesterday's session. As soon as we were finished yesterday, I switched off the heat and cooled it down. And once it was cooled down to room temperature, I bottled it up and put it in the fridge. So it's been in the fridge overnight. So one night is enough for this. I wouldn't keep it 2 or 3, not in a temperature like this. It's just too much risk of getting mold, I think. And there's 2 liters there, which should be enough to do us for this scoop this morning. I'd like to use it up today. You can't use it up right to the bottom because you have nothing left to dip your brush in, but I'll use up most of what we can use up here. Sit for a minute. Why is there so much sizing these days? It's because I basically postponed it. The printers were all busy with various jobs, and as it happened, their work didn't coincide, and all of a sudden now, all 6 or 7 of them, their jobs have all coincided, and they all need paper over the next few days. So that's why there's a sudden rush of this. It's actually better for me this way. If I had to do sizing one day, then one day off, and sizing again, then back another day sizing, I can't combine the jobs. But because they're asking me for this paper altogether, I can combine it. And one of the ones I'll be doing today, it's a print for Ishikawa-san plus a print for Dei-chan, and the different dimensions make up a full sheet. So it's actually better for me to do it this way. Those of you who've just joined just now, I posted a URL a few minutes ago about an item we have here, which we'll talk about during our show and tell. I don't know if you can scroll up through a chat once you join. I don't know how this works. Oh, somebody's posted it again. Okay, fair enough. What you see on that Wikimedia page that the link is it's one sheet, one opening of the album. The album has 7 pictures of that type. And we got one here. We've managed to score one, so quite a coup, I think. Anyway, we'll talk about that at that time. New carving project. We all wish. Okay, I gotta get busy. The video is better today? The one change I made compared to yesterday is the camera is working at full HD 1020 by 19, whatever it is. But the output today isn't set at 1020. The output is set at 720 or 1080. I'm sorry. The output is set at 720. So we're streaming at a 720 pixel height. And my CPU is a quarter of what it was yesterday. I did guppy scoop. There's a bit of crap in there. Oh, there's a hair. Where'd that come from? Looking good. Something else I mentioned before I forget, we were talking about 3 or 4 days from now streaming the fireworks festival, which is Saturday night, our time. The festival may not happen. I didn't prepare a link for this, but if somebody can pull up a typhoon map for the Pacific Ocean, Yahoo Weather here in Japan runs an interesting typhoon map showing where the typhoons, hurricanes are, and where they're at, and we're on target. If the current typhoon out there follows the current path and the current projected stuff, Saturday evening will be a typhoon hit on Tokyo Bay. And if that's the case, if it actually does work out that way, then there'll be no fireworks festival on Saturday. So I don't have a link for you. What's the number? Typhoon number 12, I think they number them here in Japan. That typhoon map John linked to, does it show the projected path or does it just show the current status? How are we coping? Let me find the I know this what they do with the fireworks festival. It's always scheduled for a Saturday night, and the Sunday is held back as a rain date. So if the typhoon does hit here, for example, Saturday afternoon, then they will push it back one day. They can't push it back 1 week because the companies that do the festivals are booked every week, every week, every week throughout the summer season. So if it gets postponed a second day, that's it. It's just cancelled. It's going well. This hot weather is so much easier for sizing, you know. The actual brushing out works so much nicer. I'm at probably peak glue level here. We've now upped the level to 60 grams. I'm using 60 grams of glue per liter of water. And the alum I'm holding steady at 15% of the glue weight. So the summertime, the hot, I don't think I've ever used more than 60. I don't really know, I don't remember. I've got my sizing records. The glue is this kind. It's the granular Nikkawa glue. There's a label, Vita barcode number if anyone wants to shoot it. This is the stuff we're using. I pre-soak it for a couple of hours before doing a cooking job. And on hot weather like this, it's 60 grams of that glue per liter of water with 15% alum by weight compared to the glue. Heat it up to, I don't know, we don't bring it to the boiling point. I think that breaks down the collagens. Some people who talk about this sizing, when they do it for Japanese painters, they say bring it to near the boiling point, but I don't do that. I think that weakens it too much. I don't know the physics involved at the molecular levels, but I think boiling it too much just makes it too broken. It's like half digested. So we go to about a maximum 60, 65, 70 if I don't watch the thing carefully. Is the change in recipe noticeable in the end print? No, not at all. Not at all. It's just how it behaves under our baron. If the sizing is too weak, fibers from the paper pull up and break away. If the sizing is too strong, it's difficult to get the pigment to go inside the paper. But the finished print, you can't detect it. Oh, my mother's here this morning. Good, good, good. Hello. Yeah, Soka, English Bay fireworks are the same time as Japanese fireworks here tonight. Sumida fireworks. Saturday night, rather. For those of you new here who don't know, the lady Mrs. Bull on here, that's my mother. She's watching from Vancouver. Also, the mascot, our stream mascot, for those of you who don't know, this was sent over by my mother. This batch of paper that we're doing right now, this is for subscription print number 10, I think. Do I have to fix the pixels? This thing has a snap to, but it doesn't work, or it works incorrectly. There, sir, can you sleep now? What are we doing? Okay, that's top side done. Let's flip it over. We really have too much junk on this bench now. It's hard to find room for everything. I don't want to muck up the book here. Whoops, this is our show and tell, so just a minute. That green tape, which you'll see me put on in a minute again, it's to stop the first sheet from sliding on the plastic. When we did the first sheet, a few minutes ago, it was a dry piece of paper. It's on a sheet of plastic. When I hit it with a wet brush, the paper just wants to slide right down the board. So, and even on the back side now, even though the paper's slightly damp, we're doing the back side, it still does sometimes slip. So, same thing again. Just a tiny little piece of tape. It stops that first sheet from sliding along. But once they're on top of each other, they're okay. Oh, John got the answer here. So. Today's stream brought to you by not much tan left in it. It's been sitting out here for a couple of hours. Okay, backside. Once the paper is dry, is it easy to tell the front and back? Yes, yes, absolutely, it's easy to tell. And when we get the paper from the maker, actually just a sec, hang on. Got myself in a bit of a jam here. I've got to put the brush down. Back in about 1 minute, 2 minutes. Something else has got to come up here. Excuse me, just a sec. Back in a minute. Got to do what you got to do, like the man said. So, taking that swig of water. Have fun when you get to your late 60s, guys. Okay, there was about the paper, the front and back. I know when the people are making the paper, they dip it in rocket. You know, you've seen videos of the stuff. They dip it in rocket and dip it in rocket. And at that point, they lift up the thing and they put it onto what they call the post, the stack of paper. Chuk, 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 chuk. At that point, it doesn't really have much of a front or back. What happens next is after they've squeezed a bunch of water out of it, they tease it off that stack one sheet at a time, and then the surface that's at the top of that usually goes like this against the drying boards. So it's the surface that when they were rocking, if we looked at the top surface when they're rocking, that goes over and now goes face down on the post. But when they pull it off the post, it's now the new top surface, which was the back surface, that goes on the drying boards. And the surface on the drying boards becomes the smoother side, which is the side that we use as the front. So that's the side actually that was face down at the point when he was rocking it. Got that? And when I get the paper from the paper maker, when I get it from him, holding it under the light, I can clearly see what we call the front surface, the one that was against the drying boards, is smoother. Although these days it's not smooth, it's simply smoother. On the back side, they've got a dry brush, they brush it out onto the drying boards, and you can sometimes see those brush marks on the back. But structurally, there's no real difference. And we can and do print on the back side sometimes. Yes, different paper makers have different drying boards. Some paper makers dry on wood, some paper makers dry on metal, heated metal plates. Their paper is the smoothest. Some do both depending on the weather. If it's been raining a lot and they can't hang the sheets outside, they work on it inside their uh, workshop. The papermaker we use, Iwano Ichibe-san, dries on wooden boards indoors. He's got a sort of a gas heater thing. The boards slide into a big closet unit and warm air is pumped through by a gas heater. His workshop is in the area called Yukiguni, the snow country. And for half the year it's snowing and there's no sunshine, there's nothing. So they need an alternative way to get it dried. But someone just got one of those small pieces of paper we have in our catalog, a blank sheet of paper. And you have to understand what you got there. What you bought was actually not a piece of paper. The value in the thing that you bought, what you bought was Iwano-san's signature. It's Iwano-san's red seal is on that paper. And when he sells us those little sheets, sample sheets, they're not being sold as samples of the paper to see what it's like, if it's suitable for your printmaking or whatever. They're sold as a signature. That's his work. Piece of white paper with his red seal on it. There are paper collectors here in Japan who try to collect paper from all the noted paper makers all over the country. A flammable hobby, yeah. Wow, like printmaking itself isn't, whatever. What about that fancy auto pigment mixer thing that got posted on Instagram? It's right behind me here. Did Cameron post about it? It's right here. Did he make it? What did he do? Did he post a video? I haven't seen what he talked about, so I'm not sure what you're referring to. In our blog, sometimes we post about the fact that we have to grind the pigment really, 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 really smoothly, and that takes time. So Aoyama-san, a while back, he ran the idea by me that we should get an automated mixer. I'm like, I wasn't very excited about it, and I didn't jump up and down. I basically said, I don't think we need to go that route. So he took his own money and bought this thing, the thing that I guess the guys are posting here. Prints in the package next to the laptop. This is our show and tell. We're talking about this in a few minutes. Just hang on a minute. So yeah, that pigment mixer, it's an example of the new, what we call the new wave here at Mokohanka. Dave's not too interested in labor-saving devices, but the other people here are trying to, do this thing in a sensible way. So he's got that little thing. Yeah, it's a magnet inside something, so. There's a magnet inside a ceramic ball, and the base obviously has a thing that spirals around, swivels around, and the magnet inside the ceramic ball, inside the pigment cup, just goes around and around and around in the pigment cup, just grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. So yeah, a magnetic muller. I don't know if it's a muller. Muller is a glass on a flat glass. We have here in Japan, it's done in a mortar and pestle, right? Which is which? The mortar is the cup and the pestle is the thing, or it's the other way around? Anyway, so it's a magnetic one of those rather than a magnetic muller. And they swear by it, but whatever. Okay, we've come to the end of the first batch of paper here. Where can I put this? On top of the garbage here, right? I'm going to think about how to schedule this work here. I've got 3 more dimensions. I've also got to think about the hanging stuff. Okay, let's take the break now. We need to move the camera for this. Let's see. How are we going to do this? What do you think about this? Let's try that. If I bring the camera over here, I think I've got enough. Earthquake coming while I move the camera. Hang on a second, please. Say hello. Is this going to work? Might work, look at this. This is not the best light. We got too much different. Yeah, put the brush in the water. Thank you. Who's that, John? Yeah. Cover up. Just glue, put the brush in the water. Thank you, sir. Can almost see the full chat box. I'm going to need to turn it here so that I can put myself into the loop here. Okay. Okay, the deal is, this is a book. There's two things. One. The one that we linked to there was a copy in the Metropolitan Museum. It is the original, and it was published in whatever. The Met page knows more about this than I do. It's 1775, somewhere on there. It's late 1700s, the original. This is not the original. I didn't mortgage my future to buy this thing. Waited some, found a copy in the dealer auctions. This comes up now and then. It's rare, but it's not rare on the scale that the original is rare in. So this is, I'll turn to the back first, you can see it. On the back here, to distinguish this from the original, we have a Taisho era colophon. This is printed with metal type, the information on who did it, and it says here Taisho 5. So this is a known edition. This was produced in the Taisho era. And it wasn't just this book that was produced. They did a bunch of reproductions of a bunch of books from the same era. So that's at the back of the book. They had a bit of information of what it was all about, what the original was about. Yeah. There's a lot of that I can read. I'm trying to find the date of the original publication. It's buried in the text there somewhere. You can find it faster than I can find it. Anyway, let's have a look. What it is, it's an album. It's a little bit like advertising for the Yoshiwara group, for the Yoshiwara area of town. You know, the brothels, the places where the girls lived and stuff. And what they did was they took women from each of the top level houses and got samples of their calligraphy and compared them. And the Japanese used the word mirror. This is Yoshiwara, crap, I can't remember, something say, I don't remember what it is, Yoshiwara something say, and then the real title is Shin Bijin, New Beauties Awase, collection of, and then Jishitsu Kagami, personal calligraphy mirror. And they use this word, a mirror of such and such, when they're comparing a bunch of different things. So it's New Beauties of the Yoshiwara, a collection of New Beauties of the Yoshiwara comparing their calligraphy. And Zen means the entire set all in one. Sometimes books were published in part 1, part 2. Here we are. Okay, let's have a look. And what they did was, there's the original, it's not a colophon, right? It's a preface. This is carved and printed. It's an archaic calligraphy style that I cannot read. I'm sure it's translated somewhere. It's the original preface to the book. And the book itself, I should get my camera out of the way here just a sec. Get my own view out of the way. Hang on. Is that going to work if we do it like that? Now these are big, big woodblock prints. Unlike the prints that I showed you when I did the David's Choice on YouTube a month or so ago. Remember I was talking about the picture, the left-hand side of a picture and the right-hand side of a picture were on different woodblocks. This is different. This is not made the same way with binding with silk. This is a single woodblock print made on a humongous set of blocks. And then when it was finished, it's folded inwards, glued along the back to the next one. So this is a single woodblock print. There's 7 of them in the set, and they're glued at the edge to make a kind of accordion binding. The whole book actually can come out like an accordion. And it's insane. It's just insane. There's not really much else to say. I mean, how many here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 people on here, 8 women, all with beautiful, delicate hair carved in the key block. In a major ukiyo-e print, you would carve the lines in a delicate gray and then use black separate pigment for the hair. And that's not what they've done here. They've put the hair onto the key block, which means when the printer was printing the key block, he's got to print the key lines in a sort of a fairly smooth light gray, not this black area, but the light gray area. And it's got to include the hair all smooth with no dirtiness or gray patches. It's got to include all the fine hair, and it's got to keep the eyes open. It's insanely difficult, absolutely insanely difficult. How many color blocks? I haven't even any idea where to count. Now what you're seeing, if you have a window open with that link that I posted into the chat a few minutes ago, that link is to an original copy in the Metropolitan Museum, 1770 something. This is Taisho 5, which is, Cameron-san, what's Taisho 5? To start your day off with a big spot quiz. Whatever, this I should forget, the stream can answer that first. Oh, look, the guy comes up the stairs exhausted, coming up the 3, so it's 1917, somebody's got it, 1917. What was Europe doing at this time? Oh, well, let's not talk about that. Every country has its own ups and downs. But it's spectacular. I know, all other things being equal, I would rather have the original, because the original has nicer color balances and color tones. These guys in the Taisho era, they were in an era where there were new pigments and stuff coming from all over the world. There was all kinds of new stuff to try, and they tried that. They knew that some of the old colors were going to fade really quickly, so they tried some of these modern colors and stuff. And it gives it a harsh, unbalanced effect that to our eyes today just looks hard. It just looks hard. If we had the original here, you'd see that, well, it's hard to tell because the original is so faded and washed out.
And so you'd rather have a brand new 200-year-old one?
Yeah, okay. But no, what I would rather have is even a new version. I'd rather have a new version printed with some semblance of the delicacy of the old color matching. These Taishu editions just don't have that. They thought it was new and modern.
Yeah. These dogs or cats?
I think they're supposed to be dogs, but as usual, I'm not going to bet any money on this because all of these artists, they could not.
They couldn't do animals.
They couldn't do animals. They couldn't differentiate between dogs and cats. I have no idea.
That's so weird.
Anyway, back to the story. What they've done is they've got these women from the different brothels there, and this is a parody of a New Year's parade. They put the top women and the most beautiful women or the most expensive women, whatever they were. They put them on a parade at the New Year's, and here they are. There's a woman with her attendant, and then two young, I forget the name. What are they called? Kamuro? I forget the name. The little girls who are being groomed for the future.
Actually, I haven't spent too much time studying
No.
Brussels.
We'll leave that one right there.
Yeah.
Me neither, actually.
I
So-
know. That's why you're guessing at the name
Okay,
too.
okay. So anyway, we have the head woman, the number one, and she's an oiran with her attendant and then two young attendants. And she looks like they're going out of the gate of the Oshwara, so she's starting the parade, and then we have a woman. And these are samples of their calligraphy, where we are told. To me, they all look pretty much of a similar style, but so be it.
Some fancy
Yeah, hey,
hairdressers.
Quick, good cover up, Cameron.
Oh, thanks.
And it's not a stream in that this one continues to the next one. They've said they've made separate pictures. We now jump
yeah.
indoors. And it's still the same season. It's the New Year's season. It's cold. We have a hibachi. And there's lots of stuff in here to see and to look at. I know there's some really unusual aspects to this book. And this is still fairly early on in the ukiyo-e time, or before it sort of decayed and came apart. And the way they drew faces is, of course, by now completely, totally stylized. We always see the faces at, what degrees is it? It's not 45 degrees because the nose doesn't come past the cheek. The nose is just within the cheek, not coming out. We never see the tip of her nose. But every now and then we see something like this. Look at this. They've tried
Straight
to
on.
draw straight on, and it doesn't work. I mean, that nose looks like I'm not quite sure what it looks like, but it doesn't work.
It
Draw
doesn't
straight
work.
on. So, interesting experiment, but no, it doesn't work. So. And their life, I'm not sure. These are somebody, they've just received a box of something. They're too small to be kimono samples. Maybe it's some kind
Obi?
of. They're too small. Way too small. Way too small. There's some. Maybe they could be a wrapping paper for something, or they could. We've got a little semi-scroll here, so maybe these are books or scrolls
Just
or
got an
something.
iPad down here in the
An
corner.
iPad. Cameron.
Sorry, I'll
Somebody's
be knocking out of here.
Someone's asking if it's Kiyonaga. No, this is a bit earlier than Kiyonaga. I know it's very much similar. If you only see this one image, you might think Kiyonaga, but this is not. This is what's the guy's name? Santo Kyode. These now clearly look like fabric samples, or they've received a shipment of fabrics to actually make kimonos. I don't know. They're samples or they're fabric for creating new kimonos. I don't know. And there's lots of puzzling things about this. We're here. We're indoors. This is a pillow, so this is an area where one of them is going to be sleeping. But right in the same picture, we have an entranceway. This is a genkan with outside shoes and some crumpled tissue paper. So I don't know. There's lots of stuff in the scenes here. There's no way someone's going to be sleeping that close to the outside door. So how much of this is expected to be real and how much is a pastiche, I don't know. This is funny. Showing this to the staff yesterday, and none of the staff here knew what this was. Whereas I've done this so many times when I was over at the granddad's place. My kid's Japanese granddad, their house was kind of old and run down. And every time we visited them, we had to do maintenance and fixing it up. And what you're seeing here is a shoji or a shoji door, a wooden lattice door, over time loses its squareness. It might get distorted due to the wood getting old or something like that. But if a shoji screen starts to distort into a bit of a trapezoid shape, it doesn't slide back and forth anymore. So what somebody has done here, and which this artist has actually just copied, you get a few small little not shims, they're little strong pieces of wood. You bend them into the corner and not clamp them in place. They're held in by their bending power. And that bending power pushes in this direction, just enough, 1 or 2 millimeters, to put that screen back into square so that it slides open and closed easily. And the kids here in the shop had no idea. They'd never seen that. But there it is. That's what it is. This is nothing to do with being in the Yoshiwara. This is just simply an old shoji screen. And it goes on and on and on. I don't know if you can see it. Some of these are heavily embossed. The light, we're looking at it right now, is not the best light for looking at woodblock prints. I'm sorry, there's embossed patterns all over the place here. There's another shoji screen deal. Do you know what this is? Again, the staff here didn't know what that was. The reason we're seeing the bones of the shoji, look at this one. This shoji screen, we're seeing the actual wooden lattice, and the paper is pasted on from the other side. So if you've got a door like this, you can open and close it by grabbing the lattice, sliding it open and sliding it closed. But if you're on the other side of that thing, if you're on the side that's got the flat paper, and if they haven't prepared a little door notch or something, then you're out of luck. You might be able to get your fingers in there and open it, but you can't move this thing back and forth to get it closed. So what this is all about, and again, this was in my granddad's place, all over the place. You take one of the squares and you cut it in an X shape, and you push it back and paste another piece of paper on, so that all of these squares, the paper's on this side, but on that one square, the paper gets pushed back so that it's on the other side. So what we're seeing is it's a valley here that's got the same depth as the wooden, and you can see the X mark, and they don't match anymore because you've pushed the paper back so that the cut edges don't line up. You paste another piece of white paper on top of it, hold it. And that gives you your finger access to slide this thing back and forth and back and forth. So it's a door handle, as it were. The girls aren't beautiful. They look like it's sort of a horse face kind of thing. The noses are too long, the eyes are too small. It's parodied beyond attractiveness. They just do not look attractive in any way. And I don't know how realistic they are. They really kind of look all like exactly the same face. Whether there's any attempt made to make them look individuals or not, I don't know. The calligraphy too, it's supposed to be everybody's different calligraphy, but to me they are very, very, very similar in style. And obviously this is the way these girls were trained. There was a certain mold and a certain pattern that they were expected to fit, and they were just trained into that mold. You know, it's what the customers expected. But for me, the interest is the technical production. It's just insane, just insane. The wood blocks, remember, these are not plywood wood blocks. These are solid pieces of wood, and they would expand and contract and expand and contract like crazy. In this reproduction edition, there's a few places where we can see that. Here, look, there's a tiny bit of white showing here, and a tiny bit of white showing here. So that block to print that light pale red color has shrunk a little bit. I hear the bell going on downstairs. I think Rachel's coming in today. Yeah, they're all the same season. We see the same thing. We see the hibachi. This is their only way of keeping warm, remember? The chopsticks in the hibachi are metal chopsticks, which people use to rearrange the ash and stuff. This girl's obviously, she's doing some poetry. There's poetry cards ready. She's got books. This is a very literate corner. And off at the end of the thing here, quite a lot of registration off. I see, oh, one more. That's number 6. This must be the final one, number 7. Oh, Rachel, good morning, Your email came early enough this morning. Yesterday's was too late, but today was early enough, so. We're showing the stream this book that you saw yesterday. I grossly insulted you. I mentioned how none of the staff here could identify what the handles were on the shoji screen. So I'm just trying to show off. I know more than the Japanese. Well, you've never lived in an old dump house where the shoji's all broken, obviously. So I think there might be a bit of seasonal progression. This is now cherries. On the one before we had ume. So it's all New Year stuff, and we've now progressed, I think, from the plums over to cherries. And this is where the book finishes. It signs off with the start of the cherry season. So, and the clothing looks a little bit lighter than it did back at the beginning. Quite a spectacular book. You know what these are, right? You saw we talked about this before. Remember those Genji marks? Remember those 5 bars that had the different things connecting them on the top? We saw that set of prints downstairs. Okay. Oh, maybe you weren't there that day. Okay. Sorry. There's one too. Different hairstyle. Look at this. Wow, we have a woman with individuality. Everybody else has pretty much exactly the same hairstyle. You know, just depending on how many ornaments they've got in it, their status and rank and stuff like that. This woman only has one, so maybe she's actually not one of the working ladies. Maybe she's a helper or something. I don't know. And this woman has a very Han era type of hairstyle. On the previous one, what was hanging from the ceiling? I'm not sure. I wasn't watching the stream here. Good morning. Is that the one? This is not hanging from the ceiling. That's looking through into the next room. There's a planter with an ume, a plum. This one, I guess, this is some kind of, is it an entranceway or is it that what are we seeing here, Dejan? Are we looking through or is that it's a closet, Dejan? What's hanging here? I don't know. No idea. It looks like some kind of drum type shape. I've got no idea what it is. This is a mirror on a stand. We're seeing the back side of the mirror. The front side is silvered. Again, these are decorations. Looks like warabi. I don't know. So sorry about the question of hanging. What's hanging from the ceiling? I don't know. I'm sorry. It's not a doorway. I think this is a closet. I believe these open up. What we're looking at is a flat panel, right? A fusuma. Or it could even be a wall. I don't know. I'm sorry. That looks like a closet door opens up, right? So I think that's a fusuma. It opens up to be a closet inside. Look at this. This is a kotatsu. Do you see what's happening? It's a horikotatsu.
Yeah.
There's the lattice. Inside is the hibachi. There's the kotatsu. It's been opened up for airing out. And there's the kotatsu cover, the blanket that will go over the whole thing. Must be a top class place. And again, hibachi to keep warm. That's their only way of heating. It's like my house in Ome. Okay, we better wrap this up because I do have to get back to work. I've got to hang that paper. Do the next batch and hang the paper. So there we are, the book. It's Shin Bijin Awase Jijitsu Kagami. Yoshiwara something. I can't remember those two. Do you know what each are? I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, there we go. That's the Taisho 5 edition of a book published during the 1770s. Nice part of our collection. And we have 2 copies. This is the second one. I've got one over in Ome that I got years and years and years and years ago. And now this second copy has come in. I'm going to compare the two and keep the best one for myself. Let me get the camera back. Is that zoomed in, zoomed out? Okay, let's get back to work. What's the shop? Shop is going to be crazy today, right? There's four parties, is it? I think there's enough paper. Shiba-san got the paper ready last night. Let's get the general stuff ready, put the flag out, then, you know, the normal parts. I won't be there at 10 o'clock today, 10 o'clock. This is going to take me way past 10 o'clock now to do this. So the first party you guys have to handle. They'll take with some, I'll come and help with some. You know, the other parties will spill off and take turns. But the first one you guys are going to have to do. The camera caught a quick view that if they chan under Mulberry. Portrait.
Are you streaming now the Dosa?
Yeah, it's another sizing stream we did yesterday and now today. So this one, it's going to take me till around noon. I think I've got 4 different sizes. I've done one. It's got to be hung very soon, and I haven't even unloaded the one from yesterday. So work is kind of stacking up here.
Can I pull down paper for you?
Actually, we would help. Yeah. Do you know what the what? Excuse me. Just a second. Let me show Cameron
Yeah, if you
something.
just show me a couple of them, then I'll. I can do that.
There's three different.
Oh, yeah. But you want four separate files.
Well, they're good dimensions.
Yes.
Okay, Cameron San's going to pull down the paper we hung up yesterday. So, all right, Dave, back to work. In the way here, just now got to get this back out of the way. I do not want to splash the laptop. Sorry, so. Okay, here we go. Next batch. What prints are these for? Okay, the first batch of sizing that I did this morning, the first hour or so, those are all for the next legendary loot print. Ishikawa-san's printing them in two batches. She's doing 200 of each one. So this is the second batch of 100 prints of, and again, I don't remember. I think it's October. It might be September. I'm sorry, I don't remember. September, I guess. She's working well in advance, so there's no deadline pressure on that one. Then this paper here, this batch is, just a sec. This batch is for a standard print in our catalog called, I forget the name. Do you remember, Cameron? Shellfish Gathering at Shinagawa or something like that. So it's in our catalog. I think we're out of it right now. Ishikawa-san tried to do some a few weeks ago. Didn't quite make it, and this is now attempt 2 for her, so we lost the first batch.
We got a clear drying zone.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. We need a break after that.
Printing the owl print. The owl print is in production by our girls. Ishikawa-san did a batch of them. Rei-chan's done a batch of them. The owl is just another print in our catalog. You know, everybody sort of developed their own way of getting around that blue background. So yeah, the owl print is available. Should be just a regular part of our catalog from now on. Doesn't need my assistance for them to print it. Do you remember when the version of the shellfish print on the website was printed? You're going to have to jog me on this. I'm not sure which print you're talking about. Can you post the URL or something? Or the one we're talking about, the same one. Ah ha 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 ha. Well, the ones I made are long gone. Cameron-san, this is something we have to address, ne?
What's that?
The print that Ishikawa-san's making now.
Shellfish,
Yeah,
right?
the scan copy on the website is one that I made years ago, back in like 1999. That would be 1999 when I made that one.
Wow.
And it's got my signature on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like if I click the button, please order this now, it looks like they're going to get
You
one
get
with my
a signed
signature.
one by the-
So we have to change that. Absolutely, we have to change that. So
I think there are a few more that are left.
there are.
over,
I think
too.
there are. So. It's somebody's asking. Kodingami's asking. So the one I made was 1999. They are long gone. So Cameron's gonna, when he gets a minute, like right now. He's
Do we
gonna-
have a completed one I can
No.
scan?
So. Once she's finished
What's
this
this one?
batch.
Yeah.
So.
Then I'll rescan it.
I'm not following very well here. I don't know. It was in the original version, the one I made back in 1999. It'll be in my Surimono albums page. If you go to woodblock.com/Surimono and then the first set. And this was a print in that set. So I think when we opened the Mokohankan page, I just stole the image from my Surimono album set. So please don't misunderstand. Don't order that thinking you're going to get my copy. None of mine are left. Period. None of them. Gone. Long gone. Yes. The Surimono album for me was a continuation. After I finished the Poets finished in December, Surimono album started in January. December 1998 and January 1999. Straight into it. And there are some albums left. I think the first 1, 2, and 3 are sold out, I believe. There are still sets left on the shelves in Ome. The Surimono album set 4 and 5, the ones that I made myself. They're just sort of sleeping there now because nobody pays any attention to it. So they're there. This must be Suga-san. Come on. Suga-san, hello. Come and poke your nose in. Suga-san's ready for her day's work.
おはようございます。あ、お願いします。
今
今日ね
作る上に。
ありがとうございます。今日連絡来てますか？あゆみちゃん。
ん
あゆみちゃん赤ちゃんと一緒に今日来る。
今日 ?No way! 本当じゃあ花火にならないから。
うん、そう、多分ね、
台風
花火がね、
の影響で
台風か
そう
もしれ
そう
ないね。
そうか。Big news! Ayumi-san, our previous pregnant printer is coming for a visit today. Wow!
やったー
いつ頃いつ頃
わかんないけど、多分
OK
お昼ぐらいに目指して
一番暑いところ
もうちょっと早く来るかもね。うん、赤ちゃんと一緒だから大変だ。うん、こっちに。
Yeah, she said Ayumi-chan's bringing the baby to show us. Ayumi-san lives in Tokyo. Yes, she lives not too far from here, up in Adachi-ku. She originally came from Hokkaido. And she went back there after having the baby for a while. But she's back at home in Tokyo. Her husband's a policeman, so he's a policeman in the Tokyo. He was here on the Asakusa beat for a while. Now he's somewhere else. They get shuffled around every few years. They don't allow policemen to stay in the same area for more than 2 or 3 years. An anti-corruption measure. It does. That's the downside. So reduced local knowledge. The policemen never know who you are because they're always new. They rotate, they don't rotate the whole station leaving. So it's one guy at a time, in and out, in and out. So there's obviously, local knowledge in any given police station or police box. Just one by one, they leave and rotate out. So no single policeman can get too chummy with like the local yakuza or the local politicians or whatever. Yeah, when you're married to a policeman, you got to be independent because when events come up, like when the Olympic comes over, she won't see him for like months, 3, 4, 5 months, just nothing. He'll send her text messages, that's about it, because he'll be on duty everywhere, all the time. Policemen from all over the country are going to be gathered in here in Tokyo. It's the job from hell when you're in that kind of an event. How long has downstairs been open? We opened on the 11th, did we? I can't remember. Yeah, we opened on Convenience Day, 7-Eleven. Okay, what are we going to do here? I'm on the back side of this one. There's about 6 or 7 sheets left. The one I did first is going to need hanging. So I guess we'll follow yesterday's pattern. Once I finish this particular batch, I'll call in friend Cameron. We'll move the camera to the next room. You'll see me hang those and we'll sign off at that point. I still have lots more to do, but I'm going to be upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs. I can't sit here. Then what's coming up? Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, a normal stream. What will I be doing? I'm not quite sure. I can't do just another sizing stream 3 in a row. And I don't have a color block ready for the octopus. It might be back on the iPad. I might be sketching again. Not sketching, tracing. Back on the iPad. Another one of the color blocks for the Hokusai print, the octopus print. Octopus print, yes, that octopus print. Well, tomorrow we'll just be sketching another group of seaweed, so nothing specifically erotic tomorrow, so keep your shirt on. You're talking about parodying the octopus print involving takoyaki. Let your imagination run wild. Come to think about it, what would an octopus do with a batch of takoyaki? Don't think I want to go there. So, or actually, yeah, when you think about it, while he's well, I think we better not go there. She could eat takoyaki while
He's distracted.
while he's distracted. So, you think that's tasty? I have something for you. Try one of these. Okay, I got a couple of sheets left, Cameron, and then I'd like to move the camera over there. Is that okay? What's with the doorbell? I don't get it. What's happening in the second floor? You know, the doorbell's been non-stop. You know, I don't know. The shop is busy. I think there's a print party for 5 or something at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, but it's only about.
It's supposed to be
15
Teiko-san,
now.
Dei-chan, and Hosono-san. Ah, we're still early. Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
very
Okay.
early, yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, sorry. Okay, here's the last sheet you're going to see this morning then. It's the back side. That's the paper for the Shinagawa shellfish. Put the brush temporarily in water. Cover up my glue. Okay, regular viewers know what we're going to do at this point. I have to move next door while we hang some of this moistened paper. And that involves, because the camera doesn't have a battery in it, it'll involve shutting off, not shutting off the stream, but the video signal, the main video signal will go blank. You'll still see me in the corner. Ian, I've got to get ready for this. It's
Get you seasick again.
huh? Are we? Do we have a landing zone ready?
Okay.
Oh, it's
Got the
in
same as yesterday.
Okay, I haven't. I got the Ethernet cable here all tangled up. Hang on a sec. Just drag this old hook out of the way. Is that clear run? Ethernet cable's got a clear run. Power is unplugged. It's an A. I'm gonna have to pick up that cable, so I can handle up to this part of it here.
Here goes this camera.
Okay, the main camera's going down. And let's try our little walking adventure here. But I could be wrapped in the power microphone. Microphone stays with me. Ethernet. Are we clear of the power cable?
I think so.
Looks like we are. I should bring my feet. Whoops. That's okay. Away we go. Are you with me, sir?
I'm here.
Let's go. The Ethernet cable is going to get in your way, so
We're watching it.
the camera loses power because it doesn't have a battery. The camera's just plugged in directly to the wall, and there's no. Oh, I don't have a landing zone.
Oh, that kind of landing zone.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
thinking-
Sorry. Ouch! No. Oh, we're going to lose Majewell here. Okay.
This camera back on, but not anywhere. I mean, it's still on.
Okay. Sure. We should have just shut the damn stream down and come back up. Bunch of cables, my God. Okay, we have main video, we have small video. I'm pointed right at the light upstairs, that's not so good. Microphone is now going to be, where is it? Hang on. Oh crap. Oh shit. Microphone is clipped above my head. That's the video interface. Is that where you're going to be, or do you need too far away? Yeah, that's right. This should be somewhere else. Hang on a second. Everything's tangled around. Look at this.
Oh no.
I can't go around that thing.
It'll be alright hanging there.
If I put it there, is that okay? You can go back then. You can back up a bit. Hey.
Okay.
I think so. You're gonna. Oh, we should. Yeah. Let me move my own face back out of the way of that thing. You can see where I'm going to be hanging. You can see. I'm going to put the paper right here, so you have to come down a little bit. I'm going to go get a paper so we can see it.
There you go.
I think so. Are you zoomed out, Max? So
Yeah,
we can see
max.
the top and the bottom? All right. No, that loses this part. So.
Yeah.
I should move my own thing out of the way to here. I don't know. Is that better? Who knows? Whatever. Here we go. Sugi-san is next, you can see her. Sugi-san, 今日何を吸ってますかみんな。
今日はヘビー漫画で
Henry Manga. She's doing some extra pages for the Henry Manga, which we still get subscriptions for. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Do I have a clear pass? No. Yes. Okay. I'm hungry now.
No breakfast?
No, just too much prep. Sleeping in late, too much prep times. My laptop keyboard has a plastic thing on it, which is a bit. Is that better? God, these people notice the simplest little things. My laptop keyboard has had a little,
Fuzz on it or something?
No. It wasn't quite flat. So actually, when you don't know what it is, it looks like there's some bizarre. The keyboard itself is 3D warped or something, So it's not from glue spillage. It's from my fingers. I just use this all the time. If I don't use one of these, the keyboard itself just gets so grotesque. So I always use a cover. Nothing to do with the glue. This isn't one of those laptops that has the keyboard trouble. This is earlier than that.
What?
You're complaining about my hair.
Complaining about your hair.
Well, I didn't get to Ome. I haven't been to Ome in like 6 weeks or something. And it's a woman out there that cuts my hair, And she gets cheesed if I go somewhere else and tell me to cut it. Next time I go to her, she's like, "Don't do that again." I'm like, okay. But I haven't been to Ome now in, I don't know, 6 weeks, 7 weeks. So it's getting longer and longer and longer. So I've got the stress, which is the biggest stress for me, to have her chew me out next time I go, or to have long hair.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I know which the least stress is exactly where it is right now. This hair can run down to my feet. I don't care. But to see her face when I walk in, oh no, you've done that again.
Oh, so sad. But she's so sensitive about that.
So yeah, I need a haircut. I get it. Next year.
Next day.
That's not my comment. Somebody else's comment. So. I can't go next Tuesday either. I have to go back to Euroware.
Go back to. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, dosa, mata dosa, mata dosa. Why don't you guys slow down a bit?
Don't let the customers hear that.
Just turn off the tap camera and shut down the website for a few months. I need a break.
Uh-oh. We'll all get a long break if we shut down the website.
Yeah, we heard that comment before, ね。すぐさん、今僕のデイビッドはもう髪の毛もうそろそろ切る時間になったようなコメントですね。もうそろそろじゃない、ずっと。コメント一つは、じゃあすぐさんのような髪の毛はいかがでしょうか。
って言ってんの？
そうです。すぐさんどこ行くんですか。じゃあ紹介して僕もその形でね。
言ってこうピンって跳ねてるやつ。
自分でやるんですか。違う。
違う、 ね、一応お金払ってやってるんだけど、こんなになっちゃうの。もっと可愛くしてほしいのに。
あ、そ
そう。
う。何今自分が決まったもんじゃない
ちょっと不満。
あ、そう。She's complaining about her haircut. She says this isn't really what she wanted. It's a bit lopsided, she said. But, Cameron, that's it. They're doing it. They're going to order hundreds of prints this morning before we shut down.
Oh no.
That's the success. It was lies, all
Oh,
lies. But
yeah.
let the orders come in first.
All right.
So,
You have 12 minutes. Oh no, 3 minutes, because that's when the stream ends, so when the stream 3 minutes. At the end of the stream is the end of the website.
actually, we seem to have got through most of that programming change last week, right?
Yeah,
A couple of places crashed, came back nicely, I think.
very quickly. You see a couple of errors overnight. It says 4:30 time recorder had some
Yes,
issues.
yes. I was showing that today, Jan. That's not even a finished program.
Okay.
That's that thing. It's only half constructed.
All right.
What it's interesting, Jan said she'd like to try making an Excel spreadsheet for time recording
Ah, yeah.
instead of using those paper sheets.
Yeah.
And I was in mixed feelings. I didn't want to squash her because I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But the last thing I think she should be fooling around with now is Excel spreadsheets. You know,
Yeah.
she's got so much to learn and to do and stuff like that. So I gave her a sneak peek of the one that I built for time recording.
Yeah.
So it was I was showing her that while those error messages came because it's not up and running.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And it was kind of a neat show off. You know that clock you see there, that JavaScript clock comes up and it looks beautiful, drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah.
Did you do that? And first I said, yeah, I did that. But then after her face like, oh my God, I'm in the presence of God, I said, no, I didn't create the clock. That's a JavaScript module that somebody else, created. And I licensed his clock module to go into our software. Oh,
Oh.
so I'm mortal after all.
But someone created it.
Well, for time recording, we have our own software coming, which integrates totally with the printers and everything else that's going on here. So. And eventually, when we get there, Cameron's payroll work will be a one button. That's never going to happen, but whatever. The goal is a one button. Show this month's payroll, and there it is.
Yeah.
All the printing jobs are in, all the hourly times are in, all the lunch breaks are in, all the holidays are in. There's no reason we can't automate nearly all of that. Okay, what am I going to do? Go get the other batch of paper. Excuse me, one more batch of paper coming up. If we're really, really, really lucky, Ayumi-san will show up in a couple of minutes before the
Yeah.
end of this.
They can say, hey.
I doubt we'll be that lucky. Let Sugu-san cut my hair. They're all bidding on it. How much they pay to see this? So,
God.
with the money
Just
going to
there.
the money going to me or going to Sugu-san?
なんて書いてきた？
いや、ストリームの人たち一人が、じゃあ、杉さんにお願いして、デイビーの髪の毛をカットする。で杉さんがカットします。そう。払いますよ。そう。いくら今、もう僕100円出しますよ。僕2円出しますから、とかです。お金もらうものは私もらう。杉さんがもらうから。
どっちの？
And the bidding is rising. The bidding is rising. Let's shut this one down right now. Actually, the lady has other skills. During the 15 years she wasn't a printer, she worked at a workshop learning printing, well, I don't know, 20 years ago. Did 3 or 4 years there. Then was off for 15 years doing other stuff. And among the other stuff was, it's shiatsu and massage. Shiatsu ですか？杉さんが。何 ?15 年の間に、ハンガやってない間は、シアツ練習したんですか？
ああ、そう。
シアツの
みたいな
マッサージとか。そう。So I shouldn't be asking her to cut her hair. We should be asking her to get on my back. she does sometimes with the other girls up here.
リフレクソロジーや。
Reflexology. That sounds like a cult to me, but whatever. I'll keep quiet here. Scientology じゃないですか？ Reflexology.
サイトロジー。
I don't know. Whatever. I'll keep quiet. It's okay. Yeah, people are asking already. Blog about Ayumi-san. If she does come today.
Ayumi-san, get some pictures.
And blog it. Yeah.
Rather. Okay.
If she's cool with that.
Yeah.
So, 今コメント、リフレクソロジーの方が足でしょ？
あ、そう、足。
体じゃない？
うん、体、足。
じゃあ足だけじゃない。
そう、全身もできるけど。
Okay. She says it's the whole body. Maybe the feet are a feature. I don't know, but she's saying it's the whole, her whole body. I remember coming up to this printer's room here once. It was a couple of years ago, not long after she joined us. And I tried to slide the door open and say, "No, don't come in, don't come in, don't come in." And I'm like, "What's going on?" And they had one of the girls, whatever, down on the mats with her top off, and she was
Getting a massage.
working over the back of her. So, so. So it can happen. It can be done.
What can? A massage?
No, Mitsuki-san here, she's got that know-how, and so what you do is you got to play it right camera. Just start soft and say, "Geez, on my shoulder." And then a couple of hours later, you say, "God, I don't know about this shoulder. What to do?" Yeah, just warm it up bit by bit by bit. At some point, she'll say, "Okay, get on the table, lie down."
Yeah.
Then there's too much grease. We're going to have to shut this down after I get this last couple of sheets hung. So, you're about ready to move into the printer's room or something, or?
Yeah, yes, but we have one needs to be manually processed. Can that be done on the
What's that?
website or downstairs?
What to be manually processed?
Credit number. Payments.
It has to go through the square ratio.
Okay, so I have to go downstairs to
Yeah,
do that one.
I don't
Okay.
think you can do it on the website. I think you have to tap it in.
Okay. I'll be back.
And make sure there's a button that when the signature thing comes up.
Say no signature.
Yeah, there's a don't touch the screen because it will take that as a signature,
Right.
which is fraud. Because
Yes,
this is
I-
a no. So there's a button that says "I'm a customer not present."
Mhm.
It's pretty small and difficult to.
Yeah. No fan of fraud. Okay. And that'll be the last letter.
Okay, I think I have 6 sheets left. Once we're done here, we're going to wrap this up. It's 9:30 around. So it's been a better stream than yesterday. Thank you. Better technologically because I changed the settings on the video. We're learning how to do this bit by bit. I have much more sizing to do today, which I'll be doing off and on as I'm up and down in the store, in the shop. And then tomorrow's stream, as I said, the moment all I can see at the moment is it might be an iPad stream while I do the tracing on another one of the color blocks for the octopus print. I'm not really quite sure. There is still yet more sizing on the calendar to be done, but there's no way I want to do it 3 days in a row. And then as for we warned about the fireworks festival Saturday night, which is Saturday morning for Europeans, the Friday, Saturday night for Americans. It may not happen. Keep your eye on the Pacific typhoon situations, because at the moment it looks like there's a typhoon coming here sometime over the weekend. So the fireworks festival could happen as scheduled. It could be postponed 1 day. It could be cancelled entirely. It's too soon to call. Sure, I've got to go get some breakfast. in a giant, deep mug of coffee. So we'll post pictures of Ayumi-san and her baby to the blog if she's cool with that. If she's not, there's a bit of issue with this, not because of her, but because of her husband's job. As I mentioned, her husband is a police officer, and they are under rules about what they can and cannot do on social media. Basically, they're off social media, local policemen. So that blanket ban may extend to Ayumi-san too. So if we can't show that, we can't show that. That's all there is to it. So we'll see. Not though, not thanks, not for me, not for breakfast. Okay, we're done. I'm out of here. Let's turn off the little camera. I can turn to face the other camera. We're done. Thanks very much. It's been a much better stream than yesterday. You know where we're at. There will be a stream tomorrow. Maybe iPad, maybe something else. Who knows? We'll see. Thanks for following along. I'll see you next time. Sugi-san, can you say hello? Goodbye? We're going to sign off. Look at that. Wow, you can actually see your space. Okay. Bye-bye, guys. Thanks again.